Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 17, Killing in the Name of. To briefly recap last episode, we went on a bit of a trade caravan up to Lindsay City to try to deliver 15 body straps, and unfortunately one of them was tainted, so Zaleb had to come back. I also made it a point to try to get some bionic legs in all of my citizens. So there are bionic legs in all of them except for Trustin, and there's one ready for Trustin when he goes under the knife. I also have some other outstanding quests. So Sven's Baron ceremony is waiting for a fine-floored, draped and harpsichorded throne room. The fine floors almost certainly going to take a while because they are a very long process to make. I think given the amount of slate that I have, I'll probably make it fine slate. We also have a climate adjuster just to our north of us, and I'm a little worried about the Devil Strand falling victim to that climate adjuster, so that is going to become my top priority. Right at the start here, what I am planning on doing is to get more tribal wear for slave number 3, made of bird skin, and then a body strap for the delivery made of camel hide. I'm also going to get another shield belt. I'll probably end up using overwhelming force when going to the climate adjuster, but it really depends on the kind of weapons the pirates have. Now you may have noticed that slave number 5 has been renamed. He's now Rhadamant. And then my donkey I've decided to keep, and its name is now Bryce. Both of them are my Patreon patrons that have won respective raffles. So congratulations to the both of you. This area here, I'm going to take off of repair and cleaning. The penalty for damage to this is a smoke spewer, a mechanoid sleeping near it, and manhunting squirrels nearby. It isn't a loss of rep or anything like that, so I'm not that worried about it getting destroyed. So here, Trustin is going to work at the shield belt, and the shield belt is going to be for the last slave. I guess it's slave 4 that currently does not have a shield belt. I also might want to consider shield belting up slave 1 and 2 and switching them off of their EMP and smoke launchers so that I have 3 shield belted, or all 5 of my slaves will be shield belted for sort of maximum protection. If they're going to be cannon fodder, they might as well be able to be absorbing a lot of shots. And then all the steel that those tasks require. We're obviously sourcing with Old Rhadamant and Bunny, or mining up a storm. Alright, so Rhadamant, you have switched to the Masterwork Bird tribal wear. And I'll be dyeing that soon. And then this donkey has been emptied, so I am going to wake up Sleb and rope it to the holding pen. The slaves aren't allowed in here because this area has weapons and is off limit for slaves. So one of the colonists has to do that. So I've received 2 of the 3 shield belts, and I think what I'm going to do is in this trade stockpile, let me go through weapons, and we are going to allow EMP and smoke in here so that they're not placed up here. So smoke and EMP will be removed from this list, and then EMP grenades also could be removed from this list, as they are not weapons that will incur rebellion. And that means that the slave uniform for shield belts should be respected, and all my slaves will be wearing one. Perfect. So the ambient temperature is, yeah, quite low. I may have to make a move sooner than later on that climate adjuster, because I think if I wait any longer, it will be too late and I will have lost Double Strand. Okay, so in the temp weapons here... Oh, that's interesting. Why would you... Yeah, I'm not sure why they would haul it out to a low priority stockpile. That doesn't really make that much sense. Oh, because of this. Yep, alright. Fixed. Alright, once everybody's up, it will be time to go. I don't think I have any leader speeches I can kick off or anything like that. I could do a throne speech. But I don't even have... Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that, I don't think. So Slave 2. Let's get you a smoke launcher. I think I'm going to bring everybody. Because any slaves that are left in the colony unattended, I will absolutely, almost certainly rebel. So now all the slaves have shield belts. And we are going to form a caravan northbound. We'll even bring Bryce. We'll bring, we'll bring the fine meals. Now the problem is the slaves eat nutrient paste meals. And that's not something that I'm currently bringing. So I'm going to have to set up a new sort of food priority for them to travel. So what I'm going to do there is let's... New food restriction. Slave travel food. And they are going to be allowed pretty much anything they want, minus fine and lavish meals. So they can eat the raw corn. Or whatever they get their hands on. Alright, and we are going to be on our way. Whole colony. Now, it's a little dangerous to send a whole colony because my colony will be undefended. But the numbers that they had brought to this fight, I think, require it. Plus, we're going to get there pretty quick. Oh, there's a caravan Empire of the Moon to trade with. Neat. Unfortunately, I have no money, so we're going to move on. Now, I figured that this is worth the risk, given the very quick movement speed. It's not likely that anything is going to happen back home. And here's the climate adjuster. Now, if I wanted to, I could hitch Bryce to a spot so that Bryce doesn't wander around. And let's take a look at their weapons. So they do... Okay, I'm already sort of in their line of sight. They do have some significant weapons. I think I am not going to use my aerodrone salvo. But what I will use is... I do have a beam targeter, but that's a little overkill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a squad in to help. But I'm going to call the squad in to help once I'm in a good position to fight as well. So let's call it in now. I'm going to have them go to that corner. Alright, pushing up with these slave shields. And people, Zleb hitting Marksman Command. And we'll just keep pushing closer and closer. Putting the shield-belted slaves in front. Rather not get grenades thrown at me. Rude. Alright, these slaves also can start trying to melee enemies down too. That's a possibility as well. Okay, so dodging some lovely grenades. And then you four. Let's head over here. Fire down this hallway to net noob. Well, Bunny, you clean up these guys. As you can see, my shield-belted slaves are beating some of these enemies to death. It's been a successful... Whoa, Bunny, watch the friendly fire. It's been a very successful a method. And it also looks like I'm gonna have some people to capture. So that's really good. Not only did we clear out these pirates that have a climate adjuster, but I can capture some prisoners in the process. All right, let's. What I'm going to do next is, whoops, set it up so that we actually grab and capture. Here, I could just load the weapons. Bunny should do that. Nope, don't shoot, don't shoot. So let's capture and capture, load, and I could just pick it up. Actually, I just want the weapons out of the doorway. So, all right, one made it out. My slaves are now going to go bash the climate adjuster to death. And the door closed on me. I had to reclaim it. So let's do that. All right, so that climate adjuster will be cleared soon. These prisoners here are going to be tended to without meds. And they become new slaves. I'm also going to want to strip them too. So that they're disarmed. I don't believe the Empire of the Moon lost anyone, as far as I could tell. I believe all of the fatalities were enemy fatalities. Other things I could do while I'm here is break down these sandbags for cloth, and then remove some of the flooring for other materials, because there's a lot of rich materials here to be grabbed. But yeah, that was really, really straightforward. My slaves only got a few bruises because of the shield belts, and then we'll be home in no time. So the climate adjuster has been destroyed. Undraft these guys. Any of these slaves, wow, they all don't really construct. That's fine. Looking around, the other thing to consider is, are there things to hunt? Do I even need meat? Maybe I don't even need meat, so I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, Sven, let's have you strip this scientist. So these new, soon-to-be slaves, they're currently prisoners, might get a little cold, but I didn't want them to have armor. And we are going to strip this facility for all that I can carry back home. Let's also get rid of the things that might have components. and then we'll be out of here momentarily. That's probably enough stuff, so let's see if I can carry any more. Because that's sort of the determining factor. So travel supplies will bring all the meds and meals. I'm not going to worry about steel. We have plenty of steel back home. Yeah, I don't have enough carry weight for all of the stone that we have already stripped up, so there's really no need to strip anymore. I'm going to bring these sniper rifles, because sniper rifles are very nice to have if I get attacked by mechanoids back home. And I'll bring the Molotov cocktails so that I can burn up corpses and not have to make myself an incendiary launcher or something like that. The silver flak helmet can be smelted down for silver, which is pretty good. Smoke pop belts might be useful. The uranium gibbet cage, because uranium's always a nice material to have. Taking a look at my weight here, all of the other tainted clothing here that can be smelted for material, I can bring home for smelting purposes. And then there should be a few... Yeah, these two parkas. The Devil Strand shirt, so that we can clothe the two prisoners as we caravan. Just to make sure they don't freeze or anything like that. Alright. The rest of the carry weight will be the granite blocks. We'll bring only 100 so we're not maxed out. Send. Now on the caravan here, what I do is let's drag the parkas to the two prisoners so they aren't freezing in the trip. And one of those sniper rifles is bio-coated. Okay, well. There we go. So we're going to be resting here for a bit, but then we'll be headed home. I just hope that there's no, like, power feedback or anything like that. Fortunately, we don't have a very flammable base. It's mostly stone and steel. Well, concrete. So job well done. And now the Devil Strand here is safe and growing again. That was really my concern because it's been in the ground for quite some time. And it was a bit of a gamble to even try to get out there before it got damaged or destroyed. Bunny gets a shoot frenzy. I guess killing all those pirates made her happy. And then, before we go anywhere else, let's go arrest the prisoners, bring them to the bed, and that is 2 more future slaves, which I will have to queue to clothe and all that, but it's going to be a while before they're enslaved, I think, because we have to convert them as well. Okay. I was like, why is that yayo? It is actually yayo. Alright, so, Nat, you're going to be converted, and Marjot, or Margot, or Hover, also converted. And let's go, we'll leave them with the parkas on. So if we take a look at their belief, they have very, very, very strong beliefs of their own ideologies, so it's going to take a while in order to sufficiently convert. Now that I'm home, slaves will go back to nutrient paste meals. And the next order of business, besides probably utilizing the Devil Strand, is to get that slave body strap caravan going, and that will be tomorrow morning. So that is the selling to Lindsay City. I have 9 days left. It should be fine. Let's also get some fine floors. So I'm going to do some spike core plating here around the throne. And then we'll continue the fine floors. It also looks like these guys have a little bit of stuff to sell. They can buy my yayo. Oh, good. They buy weapons. I can get rid of the tribal weapons that I absolutely do not want or need. That's nearly all the money they have. I'll buy their medicine and sell... Yeah, perfect. I have a lot of clothing that I don't want either. Well, good little trade for visitors. Trustin is now wearing a flak vest. I guess it's fine. I was planning on eventually making flak vests for that purpose, so... And as his rest goes up, I think I'm going to do the surgery right around the time that he was going to sleep anyway. So now he is resting. Let's queue up a right leg with industrial tech meds, bionic, and have Sven, who's our best doc, run that surgery over. All right. This moisture pump has expanded, so now we can not have any, you know, sand in our base, which is great. And trust in surgery has gone well. What are these slaves doing? They're hauling, cutting chunks. If we are to, let's switch back over to slate, because I think I'm going to have a dark-themed ritual room, so trying to get as many slate blocks cut would be ideal. Nat is in medical emergency. Yeah, I see. I think... either I need to cut off that leg or tend to it with a Glitter World med to keep Nat alive. So I'm going to do the Glitter World med method. So Sven's going to stand next to the Glitter World meds. Can be tended in 4, 3, 2, 1. And you should now survive, albeit barely. Trustin and the rest of them, we are not going to wear tainted apparel, so take off that cap. You look ridiculous. And watching, yeah, okay. You've already caught up and are ahead. Good. Yet another slave. Now with Leb standing here, let's go haul the weapons in at least. And I'm gonna grab the Molotov and torch some bodies, because that's primarily why we ride at home. And then switch back to the SMG. Fantastic. Alright. Trustin is getting the border concrete laid out, but I'd rather have him work here, so I'm having him change gears. We just researched harpsichord, so that's going to allow us to fulfill the needs of this throne room. So what is next? Geothermal wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I was really thinking of going towards recon armor and bioregeneration. So let's go back to bioregeneration. And that will benefit Celeb. In order to reduce the amount of concrete, or not concrete, the amount of sand that gets tracked around the base, I'm going to make it a priority to finish this stockroom redesign. And now we don't have sand that we can track around the base, which is great. And then Trustin is working on the new weapons room. Now, one thing that I have heavily neglected is the relics quests. They are ridiculously outstanding. So it would be the Worshipful Village and the Hidden Installation mission. I do intend to go to the Hidden Installation mission sometime soon. Oh, this flak helmet is not even tainted. Oh, that's why Trustin's still wearing it. Okay, I guess you could keep it on his head. I don't have something better. Alright, this is looking good. And then we're going to want concrete in here as well. I did mention that once the Drago trees were done, I was going to transfer over their material. So I think what I'm going to do is to start making this heel root. And to trim the northern section of this to make it Devil Strand again. Because I don't need that much heel root. That's a lot of heel root, actually. Maybe I'll shrink that down as well. So the Devil Strand is going to be one of the main methods of wealth. We are the Archotechs, and that means to ascend to the Archonexus, we need a certain level of wealth in our colony, and we're about just shy of halfway there. We're maybe 40% of the wealth required for the first Archonexus ascension. And Devil Strand is a very valuable fabric. And very beautiful as well. So that's going to help us make the money that we require in order to ascend. Okay, once this is built, we're going to put a roof on it. And then move our weapon, all of the weapons over here. Another thing that I was going to do is to move the batteries in here, so I have to figure out exactly how I want to lay them out. Probably simply like this. Maybe I'll make a slightly larger battery bank. Nah, I don't think I'll do that. So here we have just a small little battery room with two different cables. I'll even move the door so it's centered. And then here will be the weapon room. And I can center the door there as well. So this is 10. Well, I guess it can't really be centered. There we go. Hey, Bunny, you want to shoot something? You're having a little bit of accuracy problems, aren't you? That's okay. Perhaps you just need more training. Worst case scenario, I could turn on the mini turrets and just have the mini turrets finish off the animal once it's manhunted. I just didn't want to get nibbled by an emu. Sounds like a bad time. Once this is done, I plan on allowing Trustin to continue the border pathway. And we have an emergency descent for additional honor. So, tribespeople of Brio is going to be attacking After 8 hours, they will be rescued. Yeah, we're going to do this. So they need our help here. And the way these work is I need to primarily protect Burmo and 2 other civilians. So Burmo, Jovian, and Met are the ones that need protection. And there's going to be a whole bunch of tribals trying to chase me to kill me and them. And then if we read the quest here, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just going to send them down to protect it now. Because that's a pretty hefty amount of honor for a very short battle. But Trustin, let's break down the shuttle. So one of the other things I could do is I get to keep the shuttle loot. And then what tends to happen in these crashes is that the enemies will enter the map tile from the edge closest to where the crash is, meaning that they're probably going to zone in here with great bows and the like. So while my slaves and colonists are in formation, I do have to worry about minor break risk, but while they're in formation, I'll just try to make myself useful, queuing up some additional mining. And then the shuttle, of course, has components, plasteel, and steel. So they should be entering any moment now. Let me redraft. If you leave people drafted for too long, having not issued orders, they sort of automatically undraft themselves. And as predicted, they did indeed enter from the edge. I'm just repositioning. Let's get these guys out a little bit so they absorb more shots. I'll probably be using Psycasts as well with Sven. Let's hit them with a pulse. And another pulse. The most amount of vomiting possible will be ideal. And then have my slaves start to push in. I am being shot at though, so I'm gonna... Oh, one of the Empire of the Moon soldiers is dead. It's the soldiers are allowed to die. It's the... Actually, just no, push up. It's the civilians that are not. And then the way these work is once I've downed half of the enemies, the other half will go running. So it's important to focus fire. And we've done it. And not only have we done it, we have another potential slave. Nimble, gay, quick sleeper. Actually, not a slave, potentially a recruit. I very much want an artist in my colony. And Armadillo here has great traits, good shooting skill, and does art quite well. Yeah, he is currently bleeding from the leg somewhat fatally and very quickly, but very likely someone I will add. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling my slaves out of the brawling fights because I don't need the slaves to be shot at. Oh, we also have Humps. Humps the Knight. Super immune tough. But far less interesting to me as a potential slave, as they don't really fulfill anything that an Archonexus chasing colony would require. So I'm going to tend to Armadillo and tend to Humps. And yeah, these 2 civilians and the Baron didn't even have to fight. And and they only lost one person, so pretty minimal damage there. Armadillo will need a leg. Probably two, in fact, because that stab scar is pretty dreadful on the other leg. But I am researching bio regeneration, so that's always a possibility. Okay, so there's one captured, and we're going to want to capture both. Having shield-belted slaves is, oh my, very nice. The sort of human shield method is great. All right, so Armadillo, you are going to be converted, and Humps, you are going to be converted. Another thing that I could afford to do is to whip up a few more beds for them. Wouldn't hurt. So, 2 more steel beds from Trustin. And a royal tribute collector is coming in. Ooh, a legendary bed. Holy cow. Hey, Armadillo. So the royal tribute collector allows me to rank honor up by gifting slaves, and that is exactly what I intend to do. Gifting pretty much all my slaves. I might keep slave 1. It's funny because I haven't named slave 1, but I also don't want to gift slave 1 either. Alright, there we go. Now that they have their beds. So the royal tribute is coming from the north. And then the emergency descent is completed. It's actually possible that Sven jumps to count if I give the slaves as tribute. So let's take a look at these slaves again. Nat would actually be a pretty good recruit. Shooting, mining, crafting animals. Margot, not really. It's too bad that they're not enslaved. You know what, actually what I could do is, let's quickly try to enslave these guys for... I don't think the tribute collector is going to stick around long enough, but we can try. And then these guys need to be given nutrient-paced meals. I have no idea why Bunny is feeding a lavish meal. So Sven, let's have you wake up and donate some slaves here. Oh, no, I can donate the prisoners. Perfect. So, slave 3, slave... Oh, before I do that, let's strip them, though. They have really good clothing. So... 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll keep slave 1. So, to be named. Just a mental note. To be raffled. So, slave 1 and Buddha Man we'll keep. And then... I think I am not going to keep Nat. So let's strip the rest of these guys. We'll strip Nat, Margot, and Humps, keeping their gear. And then Armadillo will keep and convert. So I gotta wait for them to be stripped. Because I'm not giving free stuff. Oh, and I have the Archonexus, So here it is. I need to be in alliance with West Henia and a net wealth of 350k. Right. Are we ready? Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, yes. 15 honor going to Sven. Let me figure out exactly how much honor Sven needs. So right now he's a Praetor 27. A Praetor of 27. Or what is his total honor? Well, okay, let's so Praetor of 27. I think actually he's very close to being a count. So 20, 34. So 7 more honor, 8 more honor is all he needs as far as I know. So I'm going to only have him do 3 of these tributes. And here he has his count ceremony. And then next up will be Bunny. Bunny is going to then give tribute as well for a freeholder. All right, I need to start preparing a count room. Oh boy. So that means skipping over harpsichord, going straight to piano, and then fulfilling all of his needs. So if we take a look at his current needs for the count ceremony, an impressive throne room of 160. I'm at 100. All fine floors, multiple columns, so I'm going to need a few more columns. I'm going to put more columns behind him, like this. I don't know. It's just the way I'm designing it. I don't even think if it looks good, but it's what I've been doing. And then let's go back to drapes and pianos. So the drapes are relatively simple. That's just these guys. Could be made of really any material that I have an abundance of. So I think I'm going to just do cloth drapes once I have the cloth delivered. So there we go. And then we're going to want a piano as well. That's the last requirement, I believe. So if we take a look here, piano 1. Our population has obviously dropped considerably, and likely our wealth as well, once that recalculates, because we did just get rid of a whole lot of our slaves. Oh, Humps. I wanted to gift you as well. Here, let me administer Psychite Tea. Because maybe he has to be conscious. Uh-oh. Hang on, Bunny. Bunny, go! Because I don't want Humps. Ah, it's too late. Oh, no, yeah, it's too late. All right, so the problem there was Humps was so injured that because he wasn't conscious, I couldn't actually tribute him to the royal collectors. So we'll go back to converting him instead, so that we can enslave. Well, guys, that is all the time I have. What an action-packed episode for you all. Thank you for tuning in to the Archotechs episode 17, Killing in the Name of. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to chat about Archotechs or any of my other content in real time, Rhadamant.com and the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to all of my Patreon patrons and Twitch subscribers for supporting the channel, and also congratulations Bryce and Old Buddha Man for winning the character raffle. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell.